Hey, howdy, happy day. Today's show's all about Canada, and all of you people in the US of A that are watching this show, 60% of our viewers are from the US. Probably 35% of them are from Canada, and the rest are kind of scattered around different places within the world. But all you people in the US, these people in Canada, they're your neighbors. So have a look at this and think about where you live and your neighbor right next door to you in your house. They're acting up and they're doing all kinds of silly things. What are y'all going to do about that? How do you live with that? Think about this. Maybe you all should invade Canada. I don't know, but Canada is just totally out of control with regards to the leadership there, and I want to share a bunch of this stuff with everybody. All you Canadians, get fired up, because I'm one of you. I'm a Canadian too, and I've also got all my paperwork for the US of A. So I'm kind of between and betwixt, and I'm unhappy with a lot of things in each country. But I wanted to share some of this with you so you can get fired up and go out and talk about it to other people. There's a new Marxist tax model in Canada. It's called the Escalator tax, right? There's also an escalator wage model for elected and even non-elected people within the government. Every year, it doesn't matter about performance or anything else or the economy, they get a bump, 10%, whatever it is, depends on the place or the category that you fit into. And now this new Marxist tax model is kind of taking hold, even though it's been slowing down. It hasn't passed yet. I'm sure it will be at some point because it's just unbelievably dumb. The escalator model is an automatic increase in taxes and wages without evaluations of need or increased income or an evaluation of performance for government employees or anything. It's just, you know what, maybe we should fire people and we don't need as much money, but hey, that doesn't matter. Let's escalate taxes and everything else each and every year. Escalators are it's one small thing with regard to what's going on politically in Canada, but I just wanted to share that with you just to start. Okay, and then we roll over to the NDP, which is code for commie. NDP stands for New Democrat Party, and in Alberta's kind of the Texas of Canada. It's a cool place. I'm from there, so it's out of a gun. Hey, but this NDP party, they want to get elected. There's an election coming up in May, and they say all the things that they think will win. And here's one that's a real dandy. They say, we're going to make Somalian, if I'm saying that correctly, we're going to teach that in all of the schools in Alberta. It'll provide an opportunity for students to learn the language and culture of Somalia. Really. 0.0035% of Alberta's population are Somalians, right? There's 14,000 Somalians apparently in Alberta, and there's like over 4 million people. Well, who does that? What a dumb thing. They probably don't even vote. And she's out making dumb things like it. Blah, blah, blah. The majority of Canadians support the death penalty for murder, according to a new poll. I got news for you. They've always supported it. The majority of Canadians have always been in favor of the death penalty, and the majority of elected politicians have always not been in favor of it. And so guess what? They don't have it because they don't care about the people. They don't listen. They just don't care. So what are you going to do about that? I mean, even the Conservatives, when they were in power, they don't even talk about it. They don't care what the people think, what the people want, whether it be Conservatives or Liberals. They don't care. They only talk to themselves. They don't talk to the people. How y'all going to fix that? I don't know. I mean, run for office. But here's the problem. You go to Ottawa to change Ottawa when you're elected, and Ottawa changes you. So you need some strong people to get in there and kind of fix all of this. Alberta has those kinds of people. So should they go federal? No. Should Alberta go federal? Yes. Should become its own country. Hey, that'd be kind of a cool thing. Justin Trudeau, the prime mistake of Canada, he gets a $10,000 pay raise here recently. Another escalator thing, right? And a backbencher, member of parliament, they all got raises, right? They make $189,000 and $189,500 a year. Ministers take home $280,000 more or less than the prime mistake. He gets $279,000 plus all kinds of perks. And you're supposed to get a raise when you do a good job. And these people, they don't do a good job. Depends, I suppose, where you're coming from. They do a good job with regards to destroying the country because that's what's going on. Then you have the CBC. It's a socialist organization. It's the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. And they lose, by the way. They've lost in excess of $1 trillion. $1 trillion. And the government funds them like to the tune of billions each and every year. And they lose money. They're basically an extension of the Liberal government. And recently they were paid $16 million in bonuses That averages $14,000 per worker, and of course, many of the people in higher places within the organization got more. So we did a bad job and we get paid for it. We get a bonus. Should have been fired. That's the government in Canada. That's what's going on. The federal Liberals now are moving ahead with a plan to create an ownership registry. Okay, it's about transparency, so they say. So this is with regard to real estate. You buy a house, they like registries. They had it for guns. They want to know every little thing about you and where you are and what you're doing. I mean, they make Hitler look uneducated. Like these people, they're doing more damage to the country than anybody ever could have. Just sharing with you, hey, are you wiser coming from the advisor? What do you do with this information? I mean, we can all whine and complain. We need to go out and yell it and get everybody talking about it because, as I say almost daily, the silent majority, it's our fault because we've been silenced. So we need to talk. People power. I can work, give it a shot. Hey, see ya.